What's up, everybody? How's it going? So I'm starting a little something new on my channel, and that's going to be like motovlogs. It's going to be about different things. Mostly, well, I shouldn't say mostly, but there's going to be quite a few Urbex related ones. I'll probably, I'll definitely label them in the titles too, what they're gonna be related to. But yeah, I don't put as many videos on this channel as I'd like, and I love making videos. I just don't always have the time to do abandoned. So I'm out on my motorcycle way more, so I figure, you know what, I'll give this motovlogging thing a shot. I don't want to keep going on and on about this, but yeah, the first topic of discussion is something that every new Urbexer asks, myself included when I was new, and that's, how do I find locations? And I just want to discuss a few different ways that I use to find locations. Number one actually is what I'm doing right now, and that's driving around my city, riding around my city, just looking for them. That's literally all that I'm doing right now. I just ride around, find locations, and just mark them on my map, and just enjoy the day while I'm doing it. Like right here, an abandoned church. I mean, I knew about this one already, but just for the sake of the video. So yeah, I'd see something like this, I'd stop, pull over, mark it on my map, and check it out later. Or, you know, maybe bring my camera stuff with me and all my other gear, and check it out right then and there. So that's the main way I use it, to find locations, is just riding around and looking for them, or driving around and looking for them. Now you say, oh, I don't have a car or a motorcycle or anything. Do you have a bicycle? Is your city pretty like well close together? Can you walk places? Well, those are other things you can do. Just ride around, walk around, and look for locations. So yeah, one of the main. So if you have a bike, or you can walk, or whatever you can do, you know, you get out that way and find locations. Well, you say, all right, well, you know, I'd like to do that, but I don't have a bike, and everything's really far away for me to walk. Another good way to look for locations is just get on a city bus. Take a city bus around and just look out the window and look for stuff. That's also helpful if you're like in a different city on vacation and you don't have a car. You know, just get a bus, enjoy the sights, and see what you can find. Yeah, that's one good way to find them. I found a lot just by riding around on a nice day like today or whatever, just enjoying a ride and just looking for stuff. You know, I found tons in my city just from doing that. Number two, another excellent way to look for locations, of course this can get quite tedious and boring, is get on Google Maps. Get on a Google Maps, go to satellite view, and go to any like really congested area of city by you, and just start looking for signs that a property may be abandoned. Signs like leaves growing out of the roof, or the parking lot with severe cracks and like weeds growing out of that, or, you know, broken cars, or just like disrepair. Once you find something in on satellite, go down to street view. Go down to street view and see if you can see it, if it looks abandoned. If it does, then make a trip over there and check it out in person. I've found a lot of locations. I have one buddy who that's all he does is comb Google Maps, and he's found a ton of outstanding locations just from doing that. But yeah, that's an excellent way. Google is a terrific resource, and on the same breath as Google Maps, use regular Google search, and you can find so many locations from that, like good ones too. Just get on a Google search, and then you just gotta type in keywords. Like, type in your city, like let's say for example Chicago. Type in Chicago and then use keywords like abandoned, razed, demolished, demolishing, repurposed, so on and so forth, foreclosed, industrial, stuff like that. And then go to the news section and see if there's any new news articles about areas that are see, there's another abandoned building. I didn't even know about that one. There's a house right there. Look at that. Yeah, and see if there's any articles about stuff going on in your city or nearby that might be abandoned. I mean, that's a good way to find stuff like in your area that's new that nobody's been to yet, because that's what everybody's out for, like those locations that they can be the first to, that nobody's been there to or been to yet. So yeah, I mean, just do that, give that a shot. Another way is to just follow train tracks, and follow rivers that are by larger cities. And by larger, I mean like population like 100,000 plus, because most of those cities have an industrial area, and industrial areas like 90% of the time have something abandoned, whether it's like a warehouse or a machine shop or like a factory or something like that. You can usually find something in an industrial area more often than not, you know, because a lot of those places closed due to recessions, due to like, you know, just going out of business, being old, whatever else. So that's like, industrial areas are almost always a win. I mean, sometimes they don't yield the most like interesting locations, because, you know, you go there and there's a warehouse, and I mean, you're just gonna walk around open area with 4 sheet metal walls. It's not really cool, but I mean, hey, I guess it's better than nothing. Or maybe warehouses are your type of thing, and if so, more power to you. But yeah, that's another one. Rule number 1, especially for beginning explorers, and I know nobody wants to hear this, I didn't want to hear this when I started, but don't ask other explorers for locations. I mean, now that I've been exploring for a bit, I understand why. You know, it's not that like other explorers are trying to hoard these locations for themselves, or they're trying to be arrogant. Well, maybe some of them are, but if they're like that, then, you know, forget them anyways. But there's so much work, there can be so much work that goes into finding these places that you just honestly just don't want to give the locations out to everyone. I mean, like what I said, there's like scouring Google Maps for hours trying to find stuff, you know, and then you do, and then this person comes along who's never explored a day in their life, whose Instagram or whatever has nothing to do with exploring, and they just want a free location, and you put all your time and effort into this, and they just want to like leech off you pretty much. I mean, I don't know if that sounds like selfish or arrogant, but I mean, I hope it makes sense. Like, just putting all this work in there, and then you know, somebody's like, hey man, what is it? So I don't know, that's how I see it anyways. So yeah, and another reason like I don't like to give out locations to people, one of the main, actually it probably is the main reason, over than like working for the locations myself, is because you don't know who you're giving this location to. You don't know who they're gonna tell. And there's been many good locations ruined by word of mouth, because that's the thing, you know, one person tells somebody, another person tells somebody else, and eventually, you know, taggers find out about it, vandals find out about it, scrappers, arsonists, and these people go in and they completely destroy the location. There's been, for example, I wish I had time to go out there today, but there's this house out in the country that I had no idea about. It's been like it was a house that had been abandoned for like 20 or 30 years, okay? And, you know, people, local kids knew about it and stuff like that. And they'd go there and have parties and, you know, do whatever kids do, break windows, whatever. The news ran in a little article about this place, about like the vandalism and stuff that has been caused to it, and so on and so forth, and what have you. It was just like a real short article. But less than 24 hours later, after that article was published, the place burned to the ground. Now, it could have been, you know, natural causes. I mean, natural fire. Well, it wasn't. Okay, I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like it was some freak accident, because I doubt it. The news put the address out there for everybody to see. Arsonists found out about it, went there and burnt it down less than a day after they talked about it. That's why you got to keep these places private, and that's why I don't give people locations unless it's somebody I know, and somebody I know well. So yeah, that's why like if you meet explorers and they're they're standoffish towards you, you know. Those are pretty much the reasons why, unless they're just, you know, a jerk anyways. Oh, what's going on over here? Car accident? Oh yeah, that is a car accident. But anyways, yeah, and also, like, if somebody asks me for a location personally, I'm just gonna kind of throw this in. I kind of just lost track what I was saying and completely forgot, so forgive me. And if somebody asks me for a location, the first thing I do is check their social media. The first thing I do is check their Instagram, check their YouTube, check whatever else they may have, to see, like, is this guy legit? Is this guy an actual explorer, or is this guy looking for some free, easy locations? You know, what's the deal with what's going on? So that's the first thing I do. And you know, if it doesn't look like a legit explorer, I don't even respond. Like, honestly, I don't say anything. So yeah, everybody should just get out there and explore it, because the more locations you get under your belt, the more people you're going to meet, and the easier it's going to become to, like, talk to people, because they're going to see that you're legit and you're not just a freeloader, an Urbex freeloader, if you will. But yeah, hopefully this has been informative. I'm going to try and maybe revisit this again in the future and provide, like, a little bit more detailed way to talk about locations. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm gonna keep making these Urbex videos, these Urbex moto vlogs, I guess you could say. I'm gonna keep on doing these because this has been pretty fun, and you know, I'd be out riding anyway, so might as well do something semi-productive while I'm out and about. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video informative. Let me know if there's any questions you got down in the comments, and I'll be back again soon with a new video. So thanks again, and see you next time.